A rather interesting topic that I came up with this morning was how exactly do spirits, entities, gods, and what have you interact with us? So there is actually a lot to this subject, so there will probably be a lot of jump cuts and things, I would think. But effectively, when you are working with magic and you are working with different entities, be they, the 50 names of Marduk, any other spirits, some maybe even some like thought forms or things that you may create yourself, or if you are invoking a particular like god, goddess, demon, daemon spirit, whatever, even elemental, whatever entities we're talking about here, they interact with us in a variety of ways. Okay, so let's start with the astral plane, right? So we're talking about kind of like the most non-physical area, right? So if you astral project, or when you go into deep meditation and you happen to go to their plane of existence, let's say psychological model being that you are traveling, you're opening up your unconscious very very deeply to explore some archetypes and things like that. But from the regular magician's perspective, you are traveling to a separate plane that is different from here, where they can interact with you more on a one-on-one kind of face-to-face kind of interaction. So over there, you can get communication of you might be able to see them. They could hold entire conversations with you. They may show you different things in the forms of different symbols, different objects, or the number of experiences in there is endless. It's almost what you can do with any other fleshy person, but also different kinds of interactions. Like I said, they can communicate through symbols and things, and showing you various objects and things like that, mainly because at the very baseline, communication is based on symbols. These words that I'm using right now are effectively linguistic symbols. Everything that that's back there, right? Symbols. You got the Kazakhstan flag. You got like the sigil over there. The sigil over there. You got the book cover. You got the pentacle on the little cauldron there. You got the stuff on the Agama Saratu right there. All symbols. Talking about the same thing, right? You guys get this? Put it in the comments and whatnot. So, after the astral plane, right? Then let's go a little bit more physical. We're talking about in our brains now. We're talking about the mental plane. So, in the mental plane, we're talking about effectively almost kind of the same thing, right? Where you get communication through like verbal or symbolic means. They may send you images and things like that. You may hear noises, mental noises in your head. You might get random thoughts that bubble up from your unconscious, because let's remember, the unconscious is the gateway through which spirits are able to talk to us. So we are the antenna, they come through us, and that's how we are able to hear them and whatnot. Almost kind of like channeling ish. At least that's the way that I like to look at it. If you think about it differently, please let me know down in the comments, right? So then let's talk about the physical plane, okay? So my buddy D.H. Thorne, if you haven't checked out his channel, please do so, because he does a lot of, he actually has several videos where he goes over different types of physical manifestation that he has actually caught on camera and such. I haven't done a lot of like videos with my rituals and things, as you guys can tell, but I'm trying to get more into that, mainly because of the lighting in my house is kind of terrible, and also the equipment that I have is mainly this laptop. But that's why I do have a Patreon account and stuff. And by the way, thank you to all my Patreon supporters right now, because I am going to be putting those funds towards getting things that will improve the channel overall. Mainly, I'm gonna look into getting some more video equipment and things, to being able to do some better recordings of rituals and stuff like that. But let's not get too off topic. But once again, check out D.H. Thorne's channel, D.H. Thorne with an E, because he's got some really great videos when it comes to physical manifestation. And him and I talked about this in the live stream that we did, and he's talked about it in his videos quite a bit. But so on the physical plane, like we have incense and candles burning during rituals, right? So you can have a manipulation of the incense smoke that where you cannot tie that to a physical causation such as like a fan running or an open window or something, and during a particular point in the ritual, whether if it's an invocation or a certain like aspect of prayer or whatever's going on, that happens to randomly change. You can also have candles that either go out or their flame is manipulated or the flame even grows a bit bigger and it's uncharacteristic and uncaused by any physical means. So basically we try to debunk it, let's say, like you see in like Ghost Adventures and a lot of other videos, where you try to take out explanations that would be just muggle explanations. You know, like I said, the like a wind or a fan or addition of another fuel source or manipulation of the air around it, things like that. Try to take all those things out. Another thing is when you are working with a particular spirit, let's say that you reach a point in your working with them where you ask a question or something, and a random object may happen to like fall down in a cabinet or shift or move, or if you live near a train or something, you might hear a train honk outside, or you might, you know, I don't really like this example, but we're going to use it anyway. Like, I have these big glass windows at my place, right? I could have a bird randomly fly into my window at some point when I'm discussing something with an entity or something like that. Any of those coincidental things that happen, the way that this train of thinking likes to go about it is those physical manifestations that happen, like all the stuff that I just listed, is a communication from that spirit. Can those random things happen randomly? Yes, but the point is, and the belief is that whatever entity that you are working with or communicating with chose to manipulate the physical forces to make that certain thing happen at that time as an answer to the question that you've given, or as a response to whatever you are doing. So the idea is, could those things be random? Yes, but the coincidence is what makes it powerful, because the entities and things that we communicate with and work with, they are not part of the physical plane. That is not exactly their home. That is our home, and we can travel to like the mental and astral planes to visit them and interact with them there. But if we are choosing to do it from this plane, then they have to communicate with us through the means of this plane here, right? So they can't physically show up, although that is possible, and we'll get into that in a second, I think. So in terms of physical manifestation and interactions, you can have a full-bodied apparition of a spirit entity or what have you that is aided by things such as the manipulation of lighting and things like incense or candle smoke, because once again they are not exactly of this plane, so they use the things that are most similar or closest to the vibration, let's say, of their plane in order to manifest themselves here, which is why you can see spirits and entities in heavy incense smoke. There's this goetic notebook journal thing. Can't exactly remember where it is up there. I dug around for it a while back, but it just hit me while I was making this video here, where what they suggest is when you are doing a ritual invocation, have as much and as thick incense smoke as possible, because that the denseness of that can help to not only feed a spirit but also allow it to kind of manifest itself. So the smoke would kind of form around the entity's presence, because once again they are non-physical, but that's the closest non-physical-esque thing that we can get around here that is visible to us, so they can work through that. And another aspect of working with entities and such is to really improve your inner vision, your visualization skills, which I have videos for. You could just type in Magickology visualization and see what pops up. I think it's in my general magic playlist, but working with your visualization skills, your mind's eye, when you are invoking a particular spirit or what have you, if you're able to develop what's called imposition and kind of really get into the feeling of the presence of an entity, they can communicate through their own means what they look like through you as the antenna, and then you can see they will basically broadcast their image through you and show up in your ritual space. I got this new watch, and for some reason I can't figure out what button turns the alarm off yet. Set an alarm for 7, and I've been up for like an hour and a half before that. Who needs alarms when you're a morning person? Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this, and any further questions. I might be able to make another video on it as a follow-up. So you could even talk about your own interactions with spirits and how they have interacted with you. Good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at MagickologyYT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.